So I've been busy. Yeah, I haven't posted a video in a while for several reasons, which I'm actually going to break down in this video. But the main reason is just trying to rest up and having to reevaluate my meal plan and calorie deficit and macros, on top of doing some other things like installing these lights, which is pretty nice to have. So to start off, first things first, I had an absolute meal prep failure. The amount of calories I had been intaking was too great of a deficit. I think I calculated out that I was getting, on average, even on days that I worked out, about between 1,300 and 1,500 calories, which you would think is like, that's a pretty good deficit when you're trying to lose weight. But the problem is, on the days that I was working out, I wasn't eating anymore. So I was still eating a 1,300 to 1,500 calorie amount, but I was burning anywhere from 800 to 1,200 calories, which really messed me up. I think I actually ended up having overtraining syndrome for about a week and a half, which is something that you wouldn't think I could do this early in my routine. But I think the lack of calories helped with not recovering, on top of me actually going for a PR every time I fucking worked out. So I think there was a lot of factors that led up to possibly having overtraining syndrome. If I didn't, I was on the cusp of it, for sure. And here's why. The last long video that I've posted was my deadlift day. I worked out for an hour and 55 minutes of recorded time. And before that, I worked my chest the day before that, and then I was working on Saturdays too, doing shoulders, thinking that I was giving myself enough days in between, aside from the chest and the deadlift day. But I mean, that's completely different muscle groups, so I didn't really think it would matter. With the lack of calories and the lack of food, my body wasn't getting enough nutrients to actually recover itself. A test or symptoms of overtraining syndrome: lifestyle related signs of overtraining: prolonged general fatigue, inability to relax, poor quality of sleep, lack of energy, decreased motivation and moodiness, not feeling joy from things that were once enjoyable. I felt this, every single one of these, actually. On top of the poor quality of sleep. The thing I noticed first was the poor quality of sleep. I had some nasty insomnia for about 8 days. And I thought it was because of my caloric deficit, because I wasn't eating enough. So the day after my deadlift session, I went ahead and I said, screw the meal plan. I need to reevaluate it. It's obviously not working because I feel like crap. And I just started eating as much as I could just to get calories in so my body could kind of repair itself. I actually even ate like crap too on purpose, just so I could test to see how I would feel, and just so I can pound the calories in as much as I could, just because I wasn't prepared for it with my current meal prep. But honestly, that actually made me feel worse, because not only was I not recovering from the damage I was doing to my body, but I also started putting junk into my body. So it made me feel a little extra crappy. However, it took me about, like I said, 7 to 8 days to actually get a good night's sleep. But even with that good night's sleep, I didn't feel well rested. I still felt I felt like crap. I felt like crap. My body was aching like crazy. I was still tired, but like my mental was a little bit better, if that makes sense. I could tell I got good sleep that night. It's just my body was still recovering. It just wasn't enough. And then a couple of nights after that, I actually got good night's sleep back to back, which was great. And now, I'm feeling actually a lot better now. But I mean, I have taken time to like break down, to eat not as much as I could. I have been eating less, just because I still want to be at a deficit. I don't want to gain the weight back that I have lost, if I've lost any at all. especially because I actually haven't been training. I wanted to take a break, let my body recover before I resumed back into it. The 6th day, which would have been the next Tuesday, I decided, I need a workout, so I started bench pressing. And I did my warm-up sessions with some bands. I wasn't like putting a whole bunch of weight, up on the bar or anything. So my warm-up set, which was 135 pounds, I lifted 225 for 2 the week before that. So 135 a week later, felt extremely heavy. I mean, I felt super weak. I thought maybe I'm cold. So I did a couple more warm-up sets just to try to kind of break through that. And no matter what I did, that weight still felt heavy. I felt super tired, and I just had no motivation to work out whatsoever. And I actually carb loaded the night before as well, just so I would have the energy to work out, which was pretty crazy because I still felt that way even after doing that. Another indicator that I had overtraining syndrome. The one symptom I didn't really have was muscle soreness. I had tightness for sure, but I didn't feel sore at all. I just felt kind of achy, but not quite onset muscle soreness, if that makes any sense. I had kind of like an achy back and stuff. Hamstrings were kind of achy. I would spend more time in the morning getting out of bed and like stretching my legs and stuff just because they just felt tense. But aside from that, I didn't feel sore at all. But yeah, I feel great now. I haven't really started training again, just because I'm in the middle of a shift change, or not even a shift change, but like I'm changing the times that I'm actually working out. So I'm gonna be working out later in the evening. Like I want to do high intensity, but I feel like the high intensity stuff I'm gonna have to do early in the morning if I can even get up early enough to do that. Before I have to be a father, be a husband, or go to work. If I train early in the morning, I'm gonna have to get up before literally everyone else, at least a couple hours, just so I have time to do that. And if I train, when I do train at night, it's gonna be after everybody goes to bed, which means I want it to be quiet. So it's just trying to work that out, figure out the process I can do for that, so I can still do what I need to do without bothering other people. It just takes time. Everything takes time. But as long as I stay focused and I'm consistent with it, then it should work out. I can say though, within the time frame that I haven't been working out, I have focused a lot on my calories, my new macro ratio, and my new meal plan. I've already planned it out. I'm actually going to be meal prepping tomorrow. I'm going to the store. I'm going to get everything out, and I might actually record me meal prepping everything and do kind of like a 2 or 3 parter with this video, just as a follow-up, since I really haven't posted anything in I think 2 weeks. My current macro ratio goal is 2,500 calories, 2,600 actually, if I'm being exact. But I'm actually not even going to be getting close to that. That's just kind of like my goal, or guideline, if you will, with trying to develop my meal plan. So I broke down my macro ratios, and the total calories for what I currently have right now is actually only 2,191 calories. And you would think, well, that's a huge amount of calories that you're not intaking, but I'm actually getting above my protein and carbs. I'm just not as high in fats. I'm only going to be getting around 30 to 40 grams of fat. Right now I'm calculated to be hitting 31. But when it comes to nutritional value of each food product, it can be accurate, I think up to like a 20% accuracy. So, I mean, it could be less, it could be more on everything that you're actually calculating. So that's why I like being lower anyways, especially with the deficit, because who knows, everything that I'm eating could actually be higher than what I'm actually getting, if that makes sense. I'm breaking it down to about 4 meals a day. The way I broke down the 4 meals is I'm not eating the same amount of calories for each meal. So my first meal of the day, I'm eating about 40% of my calorie range for the entire day. First thing in the morning for breaking my fast. My second and third meals, I'm putting air quotes up with that, because the second meal is actually a double scoop of protein with some fruit. So it's not technically a meal, but it's something just to get the calories I need in. But my second and third meals are about 22 to 21% of my day, which leaves me about 17% at the end of the day, just for a light snack before I go to bed. The actual meal breakdown for my day is going to consist of something similar to this. So meal one is going to be 280 grams of chicken, 158 grams of rice, 2 cups of orange juice, 2 cups of spinach, and half a banana, which is blended up together in a smoothie. And then on top of that, I'm actually going to be taking a bromelain supplement. Bromelain is an enzyme that's naturally occurring in pineapple, especially for that first meal, because I'm taking so much protein. I mean, it's almost 2 cups of chicken, it's 280 grams of chicken. I want to be able to digest that quickly. That way I'm ready to eat my next meal, or my next 2 meals rather. So I just really want the digestion process, or the aid in the digestion. Second meal of the day, which is kind of funny, it's actually going to include pineapple. The only problem with the pineapple I'm eating my second meal is I'm actually going to be eating canned pineapple. The problem with canned pineapple is bromelain is actually killed off in the canning process. That's why I'm actually going to be taking a supplement for my first meal. Or because I mean, if I was eating pineapple with bromelain in it, then I wouldn't want to take a supplement on top of that. My third meal of the day is going to be about 6 ounces of 93% lean beef, plus another 158 grams of rice, which is about a cup of rice. I'm also going to be adding some bone broth into that too. One, to make it wet, just so it's easier to eat and digest. Plus, bone broth actually has a lot of micronutrients in it. It'll help me actually eat everything. Just because, especially with the lean beef, is going to be ground up. I'm going to finely ground it up, especially with the rice too. It's just going to make digestion easier, and that's really throughout the rest of my day. That's what I really want to focus on. My first meal of the day, I want to be satiating, but I don't want it to be so satiating that I can't eat the rest of my meals, because that was the problem with my last meal plan. I was eating 2 cups of chicken, 1 cup of rice for my first meal of the day. And then I was trying to do that again, and it was just way too much. It was just too tough to chew. It was so much to eat. That moves over to my meal 4, which is going to be Oikos 000 Greek yogurt and some frozen berries. I want my last meal of the day to be maybe kind of like a treat, really. I want something that's going to be sweet, that I'm going to really like. Just so I can kind of try to avoid binge eating if I end up being super hungry towards the end of the day. But I also want it to be very small, easy to digest. That way I'm hungry in the morning and my body's not like trying to digest something super heavy towards the end of the day. I feel like having a very light meal towards the end of the day is going to make it a lot easier to eat that huge meal and digest that chicken and the rice first thing in the morning the next day. There you have it. That's the breakdown of my meal plan. In total, that is about 208 grams of protein, 270 grams of carbs, and 31 grams of fat. You would think that's going to be more fat because of the Greek yogurt, but the Oikos 000 Greek yogurt is actually non-fat yogurt, which is I'm doing that purposely just because I don't want a lot of fats in my diet. I would rather have less fats, more protein and carbs. And the idea behind this is that my body's going to see that it doesn't have the fats that it needs, and then it might actually eat some of the fat away that I have stored up. That's the thought process. I don't know what the science is behind that. I should probably research that a little bit more, but that in my head, that makes sense. In closing to this video, my goal really was to understand my body a little bit more these past couple of weeks. I really kind of did some tests with the food and recovery. Really wanted to understand how I felt when I ate certain foods. And honestly, I can't wait to actually get this meal prep going. I'm actually doing it tomorrow. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to get everything that I need, and then I'm going to start preparing it, cooking it up, and getting everything stored up and frozen. I would like to record the process just so I can kind of make like a part 2, a follow-up video to this video, just so you can kind of see everything that I'm doing. And who knows, you know, seeing my process with meal prepping this stuff and showing you what I'm buying or how much I got of things might help you in the future as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some knowledge out of it. It's something that I've been researching for several years, and you know, I only learn more, and you know, and things that I'm wrong, people let me know, and it's just continuing my education and trying to understand my body and how I can make it better and to suit my needs and get healthier. Which is, I mean, that's the end goal, right? Is to get healthier, have better health, and to understand who you are and what your limitations are. I can't wait to see how this meal plan and working out, you know, how it affects me and my body, and I can't wait to learn more things and just keep testing and keep staying determined. I can't wait. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully you didn't get bored. Hopefully you learned some stuff. And please tune in for the next video. If you liked what you seen here, please drop a like. If you want to follow my journey, please subscribe. And thanks for watching. Have a good one. If you want to follow my journey, please subscribe.